Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Breaking news from the White House. President Trump just gave reporters a rare tour of the East Wing modernization project and dropped a bombshell. It's not some simple ballroom upgrade. He revealed underground military hospitals, research facilities, and hardened defenses, all protected by the new structure above. The president called it a gift to America that he and patriotic donors are funding themselves. And critics on the left immediately screamed about taxpayer waste, but the details show something far bigger for national security. This is why the White House is suddenly building something that we need so desperately. So the project hits every American because it strengthens the heart of our government against real threats like drone attacks, assassination plots, and foreign interference. When Democrats push to force taxpayers to pay or kill the plans, they expose their priorities. Regular families struggle with rent and groceries, yet some politicians want to block security upgrades that protect future presidents and continuity of operations. Trump is delivering results without adding to the debt. And the contrast couldn't be clearer because one side builds lasting strength for the country, the other side panics and attacks every step forward. Viewers watching their communities face rising instability now see the White House itself getting hardened to match the times. Now, before we go deeper into these new security upgrades and why they matter, a quick note on critical minerals that make modern defense possible. This breaking news on the critical mineral front. SAGA metals, trading as SAGMF in the U.S. and SAGA in Canada, is now emerging as a major story in the race to secure materials tied directly to national defense. In less than 6 months, SAGA has moved with unusual speed. Last week, the company announced a 100% drill success rate across all 57 holes at its radar project, and they finished ahead of schedule. Now that matters because radar is being positioned as a potential host for the critical minerals America needs to build stronger defenses and reduce reliance on foreign supply. Check out the in-depth interview with the CEO on this topic I did over the weekend for the full picture. And you can also check the exclusive briefing link below, but it's only for Next News viewers who want the details first. Now back to the White House story that shows real action on security from the top down. And while the left melts down over the cost, President Trump surprised the press, covering the construction with breakfast sandwiches made by the White House chef. And he joked that he was being nice for a change. The same day, he pointed out how the new space would prevent incidents like the recent White House Correspondents' Dinner chaos. And these personal touches show a builder-in-chief at work. Here is some of the video that's coming out of the White House right now. The president on the site of the East Wing modernization project.
A lot of people have been asking to see. We've done a lot of work. We've spent hundreds of millions of dollars already on the ballroom, and it's coming out, I think, incredibly. We have some renderings of the finished product. It's all knit together. At the top of the ballroom is what they call a drone gallery. We have tremendous amounts of military able to be on the top. It'll be the highest point. It'll be actually higher than this building across. And site over Washington, so that's important. But it will be something very special. So if you look up at the top, you'll see some interesting things, and I'll show that to you in a second. You want to grab that, please? I'll show that to you in a second. The facade of the building. There will never be another building like this built. That I can tell. I built a lot of great things, but there will never be anything like this built.
So Trump laying out the military edge this project brings right at the top. They made clear none of it hits the taxpayers.
So all of this was paid for by myself, and because I keep hearing like we are making a gift of this one. This is a gift. This is not going to be paid for by the taxpayer. We have a judge that thinks it's a terrible thing that we're making a gift. He said it's terrible that we're making a gift that should be paid for by the taxpayer. That's one I've never heard before, but I'm sure maybe, I don't know, maybe he doesn't understand. This is a gift to the United States of America. And more than a gift, it's going to be one of the most beautiful buildings that's ever been built in the country or in Washington, D.C.
President Trump called the whole thing a straight gift to America. Now he's actually showing what's happening under the ballroom floor.
They're building a hospital. It's a military hospital. They're building all sorts of research facilities. Also meeting rooms and rooms that go hand in hand for the military using the ballroom. And the ballroom is really a shield and protecting all of the things that are built here. This goes, as you see, it's already up to the ground. This goes down very deep. You get a better view right over here. This is down because we've already done these floors. But these are already down 2 floors. That is down about 6 stories deep. That's big stuff.
6 stories deep. So the ballroom shielding serious military work below. Trump spells out who's really writing the checks.
Mr. President, you mentioned that this is being paid for out of pocket, but why is Congress in hushed? Explain sort of the difference.
Well, they're not. Congress is approving. Yeah, Congress is approving money for security. It may go. Some of it may go here for additional security. I don't know, but Congress is approving money. But this building, I mean, I put up the money, built this building, along with a lot of great patriots. People have put up a lot of money to build the building. And we have a building that is going to be, I think it's going to be potentially the most beautiful building in all of Washington. And with that is great military capacity. We're building it in conjunction with the United States military and the Secret Service. Well, they have a budget in Secret Service and the military to do some of the work that you see right here. So the answer is, I think they want to enhance what you see.
So Trump giving credit to the patriots stepping up with their own money, and Democrats, of course, Chuck Schumer wasting no time attacking the project. Here he is on the House floor calling it a ballroom boondoggle.
While Americans are getting crushed by the cost of rent, groceries, gas, health care, child care, Senate Republicans have spent their time trying to salvage a plan to force taxpayers to fund Donald Trump's gilded ballroom. Democrats stopped Republicans' first attempt. Now, Republicans have a choice. Republicans can drop this ballroom boondoggle because Democrats exposed it and the public saw it for exactly what it was. Or Republicans can keep this boondoggle in the bill. Either way, Democrats will make sure they will have a chance to vote on it on the Senate floor. Republicans do not get to hide from this. Americans can barely afford to keep a roof over their own heads. They should not be forced to pay for a golden roof over Trump's head. And to be very clear, I don't care if the Republicans ask for $1 billion, $1 million, or a single dollar. Every penny of taxpayer money for Donald Trump's vanity project is a penny too much. And Senate Democrats...
That's enough of you, Chuck. So he's trying to brand it a boondoggle. Trump answers that this is built for presidents who come after him.
You have to understand, when this is finished, my term ends shortly after that. This is really for other presidents. This is not for me. This is my gift to the United States of America. I'm going to be able to use it very little because when it's finished, we're talking about 6 or 7 months. But it will be used for hopefully hundreds of years for other presidents. And there will never be anything like this built again. There'll never be a room built like with the safety. As an example, if we had the White House Correspondents' Dinner here, would have been no problem.
So Trump stresses the building is a lasting gift to the company, explains why it also stops problems like the ones at the Correspondents' Dinner.
What happened a couple of weeks ago at the White House Correspondents' Dinner could not happen here. One thing that we have is we don't have people living above it. We don't want that. That's no good. They have 1,000 units above it with the elevator coming right down next to where the convention or whatever it may be is. So this is a room that's been wanted for 150 years by presidents. We have no room to have an event. The only way you can have an event is if you build a tent on the lawn, and the tent would not do the job. And by the way, if it rains here, because this is built on a wetland, the lawn is impossible to deal with. The water goes over everybody's shoes. It literally goes over the shoes.
So the president keeping the focus on security upgrades over at Meridian Hill Park. He's getting long dead fountains running again as well.
For you mentioned the water fountain. We didn't have one water fountain. I think we have 40. We didn't have one in Washington that worked. And soon they'll all be working. Many of them work right now. And I think one of the best things, President Obama, President Biden spent much more than $100 million on the reflecting lake between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. They spent much more. They spent, some people say, $200 million. You know what they got out of it? A closed lake. It never opened. And when it did, it shut right away. It leaked. It was a disaster. I'm doing a job on the reflecting lake for a fraction of what they paid. Now, I've upgraded it I got so into it, I've upgraded it like you wouldn't believe. I'm doing all the walkways outside. I'm doing it properly. But it's a much bigger job. But you see it's happening now. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be waterproof. It's going to be reflecting again. I took over a dirty, filthy.
And that reflecting pool was long overdue for refurbishment. Trump turned rundown fountains into working ones across the city. Now he's showing the same hands-on approach at the White House, surprising reporters.
We have a little breakfast for you.
Really?
Yeah. Where is the breakfast? I have it.
That's
Where
so
is it?
kind of you.
It's right over there. We have a little bit of a breakfast for you. I figured I'd be nice to you for a change.
I'll be nice to you for a change. So he surprises reporters with breakfast laid out on site. The White House chef making sandwiches for the entire White House press corps. What do we got here? Look at that. Looks like some eggs and bacon on a nice little bun. Look at that. How about that? A little bit of cheese there. Some delicious sandwiches and some soda. Oh, and some water bottles. Diet Coke, of course, the president's preferred. So Trump making sure the press has some fresh breakfast sandwiches from the chef. And then he drove home that every dollar came from him and private donors.
There will never be another thing like this. I don't believe, Bill, from a cost standpoint. This is all my money and donors' money. This is tax-free. Everyone's talking about they're going to give money, they're going to give money. The money they're going to give is really for the security of that and the whole White House premise. And I guess you probably need that nowadays. We've done the fencing on the outside of the White House. It's all titanium. You see the black fencing. That's been just done recently. And it was approved originally by me, and it's been completed, and it's very powerful. Very powerful. The tractor, a bulldozer cannot knock it over. It goes down deep, and it's titanium, which is the strongest of all of the metals.
It's President Trump laying out the security, the cost, and the benefit of the new ballroom today. Unexpected moment was not on the president's schedule. And the White House press corps was kind of caught off guard. They were all called to the ballroom doors, and they said, okay, well, where are we going? And then they were all taken out. So the real revelation is how the ballroom functions as a shield over multiple stories of underground military infrastructure. This is continuity of government built directly into the White House for an unstable world. Trump made clear he'll barely use it before his term ends, and the facility stands ready for future presidents with hardened defenses that no previous administration delivered. Democrats can attack all they want, but the work continues without their help. So this is America First leadership in action, turning the White House into a stronger, more secure home for the presidency. So share this video with everybody who needs to see the truth behind the project. And drop a comment below answering this yes or no question. Does this modernization make you feel more confident about presidential security? And check out the Next News merch shelf below this video for America 250 gear. Shows where you stand, and if you haven't done so, make sure you do. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963 to bypass the algorithm and get direct updates straight to your phone. We'll keep delivering the wins the establishment does not want you to hear. Stay strong and stay tuned.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.